Morning, Gaffer. We're finally back at home park, aren't we, after all that travelling? But it looks a little bit different with the vaccination centre now, doesn't it? Are you proud of that as manager?
Yeah, I'm certainly proud of it as a manager of Plymouth Argyle, 100%. But it just sums the football club up, or what we're about, the people here, what we've done. We've given the whole stand up for the vaccination centre, and rightly so. You know, we want to get rid of this dreadful virus that's about, and for us to give our building up, you know, for people to get vaccinated is a special moment.
Now, back to the football. I saw a BBC Sport article yesterday that said we've travelled 1,700 miles over the last 10 days. You've probably never experienced anything that intense again, but what a tremendous set of performances in the last week. Yeah,
it has been, and the travel has been tough, and the lads have, you know, adapted to it very well, and the results have benefited obviously from that. But in terms of the application of the boys to travel that far, and you know, we try and give them everything we want. So, do you want to stay over an extra night? Do you want to come back? And you know, we've given them what they wanted. They wanted to stay over after the Sunderland. They wanted to go on the Friday before the Sheffield United, and then we've had hotel beds in the afternoon on the Tuesday for Swindon. So we just felt it was a big part to give them the option. And as you say, you know, when you're travelling all them miles and you're picking up points as well and good performances, it's worthwhile, isn't it?
I suppose as a manager, this is probably since you've come here new to you, isn't it? Having to quite factor in the travel arrangements and how that affects performance and recovery and things like that. I expect you didn't have to do that quite as much at Bury.
No, we didn't actually. We just got told where we were staying and we go. But you're in sort of the northwest and you didn't have to travel too far. And anything under 2.5 hours, you never stayed over in a hotel. So down at Plymouth Argyle, where we're travelling all over the place, you know, Swindon is a bit of a derby, but it's local, 2.5 hours, so it weren't too bad. But again, there's no excuse for it. We have to travel. Teams have to travel down here as well, but we have to travel probably a lot more because we're coming out up to the top. But again, look, it's football, isn't it? I'd rather be doing the travelling than not. So it's a case of we just get on with it, do what we need to do. And as you say, you will clock up the miles along the way, but it's worth it when you get 3 points and you're playing games of football.
You've had back-to-back league wins. I think you're unbeaten in the last 4, lost twice in the last 9. Do you think in a way that's kind of a vindication for your belief in the system and to just trust yourselves? Do you think that's starting to show through with the results now?
Yeah, it is. We've always believed in the system. We've always believed in the philosophy. You know, I think the games we lost, and you know, we have got a young team, and you know, looking back at some of the goals conceded, that you know, the minor errors and mistakes, what we can get rid of basically, and we've done that. We've worked hard on the training pitch with the lads. We've told them in certain areas how to defend, what to do. The strikers are now working the socks off in different positions and dropping back. And I think overall the belief, I've said this for a while, the last few weeks, I think the belief of the boys and us as the staff have believed that we can get out of what was a bit of a rut, and you come on and you find yourself in good form, and that's what we continue to do. Every football club up and down the country are going to have a dip in form, and we've hopefully had ours. You know, we're on a good, you know, good little bit of a run now and picking up points and winning games of football, and that's what you want, and long may that continue.
In the last few games, kind of the goals are starting to get shared around the team a little bit more, aren't they? Keeping more clean sheets now. I'm sure you just can't wait for the next game to come.
Yeah, we can't. We just want them to. Well, they are going to come thick and fast. I think next week after the Accrington, we can rest and recover the lads a little bit, because there has been a bit of a turmoil a couple of weeks in terms of the games and the travel, as we spoke about. But the lads just want that next game. When you're winning, you want to go again. And even when you're losing or you're not winning and you're drawing, you want to sort of, if you've had a bad performance, you want to get that out of your system and go again. But what we have to do is we have to be complacent in everything, never get too high, never get too low. We have to, you know, calm our jets a little bit in terms of what we've got. You know, the points tally so far is so good, and we want to just keep climbing up and see where it takes us. You know, we can keep clocking up the points, whether that's on the road at our own park, we'll continue to do that, but ultimately keep playing our brand of football as well.
Do you think yourself as a manager, I know you spoke quite openly about talking to lots of other managers when the results weren't going so well, do you think you personally take a lot of boost from the ability to come back in the way that you have, just by sticking to your principles?
Yeah, well, look, you're bound to go through that, aren't you? You know, you're bound to eventually one day be sacked at a football club as a manager. You know, that's just the be all and end all of it. At some stage in your career as a manager, you will lose your job. At some stage in your career in a season, you're going to lose so many games, and you know, I'm no different to anyone else. How you come through it, yeah, okay, we've come through it, but who's to say that we might not go through that again? Hopefully, we don't. But as a manager, you've got to go through them. I've said it was a big learning curve. You know, I'd never experienced nothing like that before in my short time as a manager, and you know, it does do you in good stead. It's not nice when you're going through it because you feel alone. But when I've got a good group of staff behind me, and as we spoke about, good owner and a good board of directors and a good CEO, then you know, you feel comfortable in sticking to your beliefs. But yeah, you know, I don't want to keep going on about it. That's part and parcel of football. It's done. We've moved on from it. We're on a nice, good run of form, and as I said, long may that continue. But for me as a person, as a manager, any sort of lows in your life, you know, they only make you stronger and better, and that's certainly hopefully what it's done.
We're coming into the last few days of the transfer window now. We've already made a few moves. Is there stuff still going on in that regard? Yeah,
there is. Yeah, you know, we'll probably see one, possibly two go out the door in the next few days. Obviously, you know, to go and get game time, people who are not playing, and you know, we're still hoping to bring one in. And you know, if another one falls our way, that's right for us. Then we'll look at it. But well, it's not going to be a big overhaul. You know, we'll only do something if we need to. We are looking, as we've spoke about, for another defender, and you know, we'll continue to do that. We've got a couple of irons in the fire, and yeah, you know, I think that's what January's for, isn't it? To strengthen, or you know, we don't want to weaken our team and our squad. You know, we'll only do something if it strengthens us.
Accrington on Saturday. I know you've got a tremendous amount of respect for John Coleman, and of course they've achieved quite a lot at this level. What are you expecting from them?
Tough game, yeah. They do ever so well. I know they played the whole 2 games in a week or so, whatever it was, and they lost away and then won at home. And they're in good form. John's team, I've watched them a little bit on the telly of late. They've been on Sky, and we've watched the videos of them, and we know what we're getting out of John Coleman's team. You're getting 110%, even though they get that extra 10%, 100% every game they play. They're committed to the course. They're working under a great manager who coaches them well, Jimmy Bell and John Doolan. You know, they're drilled well, and we've got to make sure we're on our mettle, because of where they are in the league, he's, you know, people will say he's overachieving. For me, he's not, because he's a good bloke. He does things the right way, and ultimately, you know, the position in the table proves that. You know, I think if they win the games in hand, I know they're there. You've got to win them first, but he finds himself in a fantastic position to stay in there and keep going. So yeah, nothing but respect for John. But we know we're expecting a tough game. But in that, we've got to worry about us as well. We'll show them the respect that he's here, but we've ultimately got to go about our business, what we've been doing of late. And we're at home, and we want to take the game to them as much as we possibly can. We'll respect them, but you know, we've got to go toe to toe. If you want to win any game of football, you've got to make sure you go toe to toe with whoever it is.
And in terms of the kind of the squad fitness, obviously it's been a heavy time. How is everyone bearing up?
Yeah, they're all fine. Adam Lewis is training now. He's back training. We'll see how he is. Lewis McLeod's not far off. I think he's starting to do some runs. And Gaz Sawyer, which is a good boost, he's back out running and potentially with a ball in the next week or so. So I'm hoping to have Lewis McLeod and you know, Gary Sawyer available in the next 2 to 3 weeks, hopefully. As I say, Adam will be with us, but other than that, mate, everyone's fresh and good and all negative, which is another bonus. We keep getting tested, so that's a big part of it. And ultimately, the injuries will take care of itself. They'll be back on the grass sooner rather than later.
Well, thanks for chatting to us, and good luck.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.